Okay. So we are down to the final, and I think our predictions were did not even come true.
But,
They were hopes. They were
I
hopes.
don't think our prediction didn't come true. We
Yeah,
were
our
really
preferred. It was
yes,
preferred
exactly.
anyway.
I
Yeah,
would use that
preferred.
word preferred. Actually, every one of us knew at the back of their minds that
Yeah,
possibly these two teams would emerge. But I mean, we didn't want them to emerge, but we knew everybody. I mean, we're all sports lovers and analysts, and we know the capacities of both Croatia and Morocco. Actually, Croatia could
yeah,
have had a better chance of emerging than Morocco, but we saw the magic they performed all through, and that's why we said these two underdogs are our preferred, even though we knew that it's going to be a hard challenge for them to get there. So yeah, I mean, it's okay.
so Argentina, France in the final, and Messi and Argentina will be close to getting what they all wanted, and France breaking a world record of back-to-back champions. So, what do you think? Is it Argentina or France? Ernest.
Let me just start by saying that it's gonna boil down to which team wants it the most, because I believe that both teams have the capacity to do it, and it is now left on the dexterity and the strength of each team and the strength of the desire to win it. I would think that Argentina has a more desperate desire to win this cup. One, they have not won it for the last 20 years. Two, they want to give Mercy a parting gift. So I think that Argentina, in my own perspective, has a more desperate, even aggressive desire to go home with this cup. That's what I feel. And I also feel, and I said this thing 2 weeks before the World Cup, that the whole world, the whole football world, and the football organizers seem to prefer Argentina in this World Cup. I said it 2 weeks before the World Cup. I saw events, I saw things, I saw even the host city itself, Qatar and Doha. They all wanted they gave Argentina a special kind of preference. I saw the marketings. I saw I follow Doha Facebook page for this. So I follow their own Facebook page. So I know how much of emphasis they've been laying Argentina. Every time Argentina does anything, they painted their planes with the Messi color. All those things that they were doing. I was telling people, it seems to me, and even the host city, and everybody seems to have to prefer Argentina to be in the finals than any other person. And I said this 2 weeks before time. People said, "Oh no, they are giving everybody." I said, "I see this, and I think that is it." So I have two things working for Argentina. They are desperate. They will be aggressive about it, and they have certain kind of preference that will make them get there. So this is what I think about Argentina.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I'm referring back to 2014. What was different? What was different in that final that they lost against Germany? In theory, I'd like to think you're right, but they got this knack of failing at the very last hurdle when it matters. And 2014 was a pretty big deal. I would hate to see that repeated again. I'm now officially Argentina fan. I always do support Argentina in a World Cup. I love the team. I love the culture. I'm a huge Maradona fan. Still the best player that has ever lived, in my opinion. And I mean, I'm not a huge Messi fan. I've always been in a Ronaldo camp with that one, but I think he's had such a glowing, amazing career. I just feel it. He needs the World Cup just to complete that career. He has everything. He's won everything now. You know, he just needs the World Cup. So I am envisaging him holding the World Cup, kissing it, mirroring Maradona. That would be beautiful. And I'd like to see that. So I'm definitely championing Argentina. I don't like France. Period. I've never liked France. I
Why?
don't.
Historically,
Yeah, historically, I don't like France. I don't. I just they France are like they're like the national version of Paris Saint-Germain. They have the privilege and history to pick and choose all the best players, regardless of their heritage, regardless of where in the world they're from. It doesn't matter. It's not, it's not a French team. I mean, it's more African than Morocco, if we want to be, if we want to be real about it. There's
Yeah.
more Africans in that team than any other team. So I just don't feel they win it on merit. If they had, dare I say, if they had more indigenous white French players, they wouldn't be as good as they are, and they wouldn't have the history that they have. So I've never been a champion of France. I don't want them to win anything. I didn't want them in the final, and I hope they lose.
Wow. Well, that's serious. I mean, well, yeah, Morocco, you know, was I think was a colony of France, and I agree that the way Nigerians attack the British is the way French colonies attack France too. So that's understandable. But in the sense of on the ground, and I always feel this thing. This is why I've been saying it for 2 weeks before the World Cup that is a Messi kind of thing that people are doing. Like Messi deserves the World Cup.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody says. That language is a problem for me.
Okay.
Every player, that young man that scored the second goal against Morocco is new. The first time he's playing, the first goal he's scoring, he's not.
Yeah.
He deserves a World Cup. He deserves a World Cup. So who doesn't deserve a World Cup? That's my point. A lot of players are retiring. So, but I feel that in terms of desire, in terms of who wants this the most, I think Argentina wants it the most. But that doesn't mean that France does not also deserve the World Cup. They have proven they can, and they've proven they should. And I don't see why they can't, because they have every player to match Argentina toe to toe. And I think they even have more than Argentina to win the World Cup. But it will all boil down to who desires it the most. That's what I'm saying. It will boil down to who desires it the most. Well, Argentina, will France feel like, well, it's okay if we don't get it, it's okay. I mean, we are the champions right now. Would they say that and then give Argentina some space, or will they say, it is our time. We want to break a record. So any team that wins this cup is breaking a record. Messi will break a
Yeah.
record. France will break a record. So it depends on who wants the record the most. And that's what I'm basing it on. I'm not basing it on the fact that any of these teams are better than the other. This one deserves the World Cup, this one does not deserve. They both deserve the World Cup in terms of players who are getting the World Cup, because Argentina had won the World Cup. It's not the first time. So they had the World Cup already. France has the World Cup already. So they have won some. If it were between Morocco and Argentina or Croatia against France, I would say, okay, let those who have not won get something. So both countries in this tournament, in these finals, have won the World Cup. So it is now about the players. Will the players in these teams desire the World Cup more than the other? And that's what it's going to boil down to. It's going to be a cracker, the way I say it. It's going to be a cracker. I don't really care who wins. That's my own position. I don't care who wins, but I expect that those who desire it the most will win the cup. That's what I think. And I think that will be a lot in favor of Messi. Let's see whether we can get a referee who will be just and, do his job without bias. Then we can judge if this World Cup is won on merit or by favor.
With France, I was actually surprised because with the injuries before the World Cup started, I never really thought they would get to the final. I know they would do well, but I'm actually impressed, that their coach is actually making good use of what he has.
At this stage, I'm indifferent because whoever wins, I don't want to go into the Messi argument of Messi, and I'm not interested in that drama. So as it stands right now, it's very obvious France has an advantage, in my own view. One, they have been defending champions. Two, despite their injuries, they could get to where they are.
Yeah.
But in another thing again is you can't really write off Argentina because they started off badly. But look at where they are. The only thing now where I feel Argentina needs to work hard is there's a news that came out, I think yesterday, that says Benzema will be coming back to the squad. So even if he's on bench, yes.
I've heard
The
that
news
as
came
well.
out yesterday that Benzema will become. So even if he's on bench, the fear of Benzema alone can also help them, go far. That's what I feel anyway.
Are we expecting any surprises? Anything to go wrong? Officiating, players, anything at all? Ernest.
Well, I didn't follow this Benzema news, and it's important. You see what I was saying about people deserving the World Cup. Benzema deserves a World Cup. Now he's in the list, so that changes the aspiration of France. You understand? So if we are looking for those who deserve the World Cup, Benzema deserves the World Cup. He's been ousted from that team for long, and he deserves to be there, and he deserves a World Cup too. So that changes the drama, that changes the desire, that changes the effort. I'm sure he's speaking with his players to say, this, guys, let's go do this. And that will change every narrative in this. I think it's going to be a crack. And as I said, I don't know who will win, but I think France has an advantage, as Kay said, because they have the experience. They have people who can lead the team. Messi and Alvarez are just the people that Argentina can actually use to score surprises. So
Di Maria. Di Maria as well.
Di Maria is maybe he's coming today, but these two, in fact, both teams are good. I just think that if we get a good referee, we'll have a good match, and whoever wins on merit. I don't want to see what will destroy this game will be one kind of like the game against Netherlands with Argentina. It was just a mess. So what would spoil this game is having a referee who will just make mistakes, and that would spoil this whole World Cup. Qatar has hosted a very beautiful World Cup. Let a refereeing problem not destroy it. I just pray a referee that is capable handles this match and gets us a good game. Yeah.
I mean, the thing I'd say is I'm not sure that France have an advantage. The reason I say that is because Argentina can take a lot away from the game against us in the semis. We exposed, we opened up. If it wasn't for the lack of finishers and the lack of strikers, we could have easily won that game. If we had a Benzema, or if we had even a João Felix, or if we had, even a Harry Kane, dare I say it, we would have won that game. We don't have any strikers. I think Argentina will look at that game against Morocco, especially that second half, and they'll see the pockets. They'll see the pockets to exploit, and feel very confident that we can destroy France if France come out like that, because they couldn't handle us in the second half. And Argentina have that extra quality. They have that extra firepower, that quality up front. You only got to look at the Messi assist for the goal, that got them through. It was, we don't have anyone that could do that. And nobody who could finish it off afterwards. So I don't know if France have got the advantage. I think they might go in. I don't feel France deserve it. I really disagree with that. They've had enough. They've got enough. Argentina deserves this.
Why the beef? Why the beef?
Don't like France. Never liked them. Never liked France. I've never liked France. I don't want them to win anything. I just think Argentina have what we lacked to really turn France over. That's from what I saw from the Morocco-France game. I saw some frailties in the French team, especially in the second half. I was like, is this France? Or, they weren't impressive. They weren't impressive. Yes, they killed us off with the second goal, but I really believe they won't repeat the mistakes of 2014 against Germany. This is a second opportunity. It's 8 years in the waiting. I just feel that Argentina are going to go in with a completely different determination and mindset on this one. I can't see France winning.
So what's your
Penalty.
prediction for the match?
Penalties. And anything will win.
Okay, any. You don't have favorites. Okay,
have
Ben.
It's definitely going to go to extra time, 100%. Yeah, I'm going to go penalties. I just think for what's at stake, I think they're both going to be very, very cautious. Nobody's going to commit. Nobody's going to break the front lines. I think both teams are very disciplined in holding back, in waiting for the right moment, especially Argentina, because they know when the moment comes, Messi will be there and he will capitalize. Same with Mbappe. He will be there. He will capitalize. They'll wait for that moment. And if it takes 90 minutes, 120 minutes, so be it. I'm with Ernest. I think penalties. And yeah,
Argentina too.
It's a lottery. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm going to say Argentina, but it's penalties. We can't predict penalties, but I'll go with Argentina.
I'm not going to go by them saying it's going to go to penalties. I see 1-0.
That's Argentina or France.
If 1-0 doesn't happen in 90 minutes, I see 1-0 in the golden goal.
We don't
Okay,
have
so which
anymore,
team?
do we?
Yeah, I'll go for France.
Oh, really?
You should be ashamed.
It's actually very tough to predict.
Very tough.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, I'll tell you why. No, let me tell you why. Hold on. Let me tell you why. I'm speaking based on what is on ground. With the manpower France has, Argentina cannot match up to them. Let's be practical. Let's not be.
We can do it. They are still this strong. Yeah.
Let's be practical. Let's remove emotion. I know they denied Africa from getting to final, but I can tell you, as it stands on paper, what we can see. But Argentina is now right now. Remove Messi. Remove
Alvarez.
And Alvarez. Argentina is finished.
Remove Messi.
Remove the three of them.
Forget Alvarez. Alvarez is working because Messi is
working. Yeah.
What if
so remove those three? Remove those three.
The number of defenders they draw to themselves is what gives other players a chance to perform.
Let me also remind you.
Portugal missed with Ronaldo. It was a stupid mistake from the coach. When these stars are on ground, defenders will have like 4 of them focused on them, and other players will have the chances to work.
Now, let me also remind Ben. France should be ashamed of themselves that they struggled with Morocco to win 2-0. It only shows you how strong Morocco is. Because on a normal day, France-Morocco, they're expecting 3-4-0. But they struggled. You could see that they struggled. So, my brother, we are speaking based on what is on ground. As it stands right now, France, and then time to give it to them.
Yeah, I see your logic. I can't argue with your logic. But I just don't like France. They could literally have they could have 11 Platinis. I still won't back them to win.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Good luck to both teams. Me, I'm neutral. Even though I want France more to win. But Argentina can still win. Anything, it's okay for me. Thank you, guys. Let's see how it goes now. All right. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.